Hello everyone, this is Reselling the Gamer here and welcome back to Katawa Shoujo. Last time we finished up Act 1. This time we're on Shizune's route. And if the place that we have the audio is in this one, I am kind of using something a bit different. So it may take me a few videos to get the mixing to be okay. So, anyways, the next morning I recall what a perfect night last night was. So much so that I can't stop thinking about it. It's probably not the most appropriate time to reminisce since I have a test for this period. So unfair. How could they do this? They hold a festival that is a accumulation of what has to be at least a few weeks worth of work on a Sunday, and then follow up with exams starting the very next morning. It's gotta be some kind of sick joke. I'm not too worried about it, but I wonder if they really couldn't have held off on this for at least another week. Like, come on. Well, at least the weather this morning is nice enough that I can study outside before class. It's a lot more refreshing out here than I thought it would be in the classroom. Not to mention with how quiet it is, I'm starting to think that everyone else will be sleeping in pretty late today. I put down the notes I'm reviewing for a second and stare out of the school grounds, still littered with festival stalls. We get them now in the daylight and daytime without paper lanterns or crowds of people to draw my attention away from them. Notice something peculiar. A lot of the stalls that Shizune, Misha, and I visited last night also happen to be the ones that we walked on. That's cute. Did Shizune come up with this? It had to have been intentional, especially knowing her. Did she hope that I would catch on and see the fruits of our labor? I hear footsteps crunching on the grass behind me and turn around. I feel slightly paranoid, but all I find is Shizune standing there with an innocuous look on her face. Good morning! Why do I keep forgetting that she can't hear me? Probably because I've gotten so used to Misha translating for both of us that I haven't actually run into many situations where I was forced to acknowledge Shizune's deafness and the problems that could stem from it. Yeah! Yesterday was the first. I give her a wave, knowing I can do at least this much, but I'm not even going to pretend for a minute that I can hold a conversation with her, considering my ignorance of sign language. Would it be rude to just go back to my notes? I don't really know what else I could do. Where's Misha? Not just because I can't understand you, you two are always together anyway, so I'm not used to seeing you apart. I know it's silly, but for some reason, talking to her makes me feel less awkward. Surprisingly, she doesn't get mad at all. She begins signing, but it's different than usual. Shizune's hands move more slowly. The gestures are simpler. I quickly realize that this isn't sign language at all, but she's still attempting to communicate with me. So, is this the sign language equivalent of breaking it down into layman's terms? I'm terrified that if I attempted to gesticulate back, I just look like a total dumbass. The look on Shizune's face tells me that she is starting to think that trying to have any kind of back and forth like this is not exactly the best way to accomplish things. Well, we literally have a notebook on us. There has to be a better way. Running on a pad? Well, I do have paper and a pencil. What else though? Does she have a phone? Cell phones? I don't really have much use for mine here, so I barely carry it around. I don't know if Shizune has one. Dude, ask her! It still would be a good way to talk, even if you don't have much use for your phone. She takes the initiative, holding her finger to ask for a pause before pulling out a pen and paper from her bag, writing a single word on it. Hello. I still blinking at her and receive a similar but somehow more intimidating stare in response. She nudges the pad in my direction forcefully, clearly waiting for me to reply. Good morning. Shizune beams with the disproportionate amount of happiness. She starts twirling her pen triumphantly as she thinks about where to go from here. Oh come on, it's not like we just invented fire! Shizune pushes her glasses curtly as if she had heard me, and then starts writing at a furious pace. Use the notepad. Right. I'm confused. Am I supposed to take it from her that okay now? This is not the farthest thing I can imagine from a smooth flowing conversation. Makes me envy the ease with which Misha is able to communicate with Shizune. Are you studying for the test? I'm pretty sure I can get away with answering simple yes and no questions like this with nods. You are here very early. Most people sleep in late after the festival. That means you're abnormal. Hey! Is that so? You're here too. Before handing that response back to her though, I remember what I noticed earlier that yesterday was fun. I noticed today that I built a lot of the stalls we went to. Maybe that's why they were so familiar? Or is this another game? Shakes her head from side to side indignantly. No tricks! I thought that because you had made those stalls, they were the most important ones. We had to visit them, because everyone should be able to appreciate the fruits of their labors. I wanted you to be able to see and enjoy what you had done. Oh, how nice. I'm sort of touched. Still, I have to wonder why she would go out of her way, and I ask as much in my response. Because you're the I want to say that I was depressed for days, but stop. It's true. I was moving quite a bit and not being too subtle about it half the time either. So it's possible that she knew. Was everything she did just to cheer me up then? Thanks. Mumble it before I can catch myself, but Shizune doesn't seem to care. I write it down instead, and she nods once, as if unused to it. The silence between us grows more vast with each passing second, and there's nothing I can do to break it. Having write everything down on paper kind of destroys any hope of trying to be casual. Good luck on the exam! Shizune pushes the pad right in front of my eyes, breaking my concentration, taking the initiative again as always. As she walks into the school building, I can't help but feel a little sad. That felt like the longest 20 minutes of my life. And all because it's so alien to me to have a face-to-face conversation with someone by passing notes to each other that I can't help coming up blank most of the time. It makes me want to learn sign language. That's easier said than done, although in a school like Yamaku, they might very well have sign language classes. In that case, there would be a little reason not to pursue this. The only person who I can think to ask at the moment is Misha. How badly do I want to know this? There's two options. Wait until after class, or go look for her now. I guess I'll go now, but I'm not certain where she is. My best bet will be to start searching for her in the girls' dorm, though. After all, if she wasn't with Shizune, that's probably the only place where she could be. Oh hey, the painting's actually painted. Not completely, but... A guy casually prowling around the girls' dorm early in the morning is unacceptable, but asking Misha about sign languages classes in front of Shizune would be just unthinkable. She has to come to the school sometime after all. We're in the same class, so she too has to take that test. If I wait here, I'll be able to see her sooner or later. I just hope she doesn't walk past me while I'm flipping through my notes. Turns out to be a pretty long wait. As students file into the school, I wonder if Misha's going to be late. Eventually I caught sight of her while she bounces across the grounds. It hits me that I'd have to be blind to miss her with her incredibly distinctive hair. Hi Hee-chan! Good morning! Morning. I don't have a lot of time before class starts, so I cut directly to the chase. Hey, can I ask you a question? A question? Okay, Hee-chan. Sure, I have time, but only because I'm late. What does that mean? I should have woken up earlier, but I was so tired. If I had, I would have had to study. But since I didn't, it won't hurt. What is it, Hee-chan? Well, there are sign language classes here, right? Yep, they're electives. Why do you want to know, Hee-chan? For some reason, that question briefly makes me panic. No reason, it sounds interesting, but I guess it's too late to sign up now, though, right? I'm not exactly being too subtle here, but Misha never seems to pick up on things like that anyway. So I'm probably being more cautious than it is necessary. Well, Hee-chan, if there are fewer and fewer students taking sign language every year, so if you want to, I'm sure they'll let you join in. Are you thinking of learning sign language, Hee-chan? Yeah. If you learn sign language, Hee-chan, that makes Shizune really happy. If you want, we can go to the teacher's office after school. They'll probably let you in. That would be great. Don't tell Shizune that I want to learn it, though. Why not? So it can be a surprise. Besides, it'll look bad if you tell her this morning, and then I find out in the afternoon that I can't take the classes. Aw, you're right, Hee-chan. Still, this would be hard. It's such good news. I'm in the student council, so I might as well try to learn it. even if it's just the basics. It's a step up from nothing. Besides, Shizune and I can't keep relaying everything through you as if you're a phone or something, right? Why was there just darts? You're right, Hee-chan! The bell's ring signal the start first period. Cutting our conversation short. I guess I'll just ask a teacher after classes are through. Her reaction was a little strange, but I forget about it as the day goes on. What? Okay, that's a weird place. Oh, so the thing I should mention is, someone's doing a fan demo of this. It actually looks really good. The bell rings, and the teacher at the front of the room gestures that classes are over for the day. Although getting into this class was surprisingly easy, it's only been a few days, and I'm still not used to this experience. The actual signing is easier to pick up than I expected, but most of my classmates are hard of hearing. I mean, it makes sense, but at the same time, that's kind of problematic. On top of that, the teacher favors immersion. I haven't heard her speak since I asked if I could take the class. It's an alien concept, and it's really unnerving. The moment I set out of the classroom, I hear a familiar laugh explode through the air. Shoot distance to my left. Hi, Hee-chan! Misha's not in my sign language class, so this is the first time I've seen her in this context. I still don't know whether her not being in my class is good or bad. I would be more interested with her in it, but the potential for awkward situations would increase drastically. Hi. It's surprised to see you, Hee-chan. Ah, that's right. You're taking sign language, aren't you? Yes, we literally just talked about that a couple of days ago. What do you think so far, Hee-chan? It's not easy to learn a new language, but I think I'm getting the hang of it. Despite how different it is from other language, it's still easier than English. Fuck. Really, Hee-chan? I agree. I was just joking, but she's apparently totally serious. What how Misha can effortlessly translate things to me while simultaneously having conversation with Shizune in a different language like she does. It's called hardwiring the brain, buddy. Until now, I've taken for granted how amazing this is. Someone bumped into my shoulder and apologized. It's getting kind of crowded here, what with it being the end of the day and all. I think we should talk somewhere else instead of the hallway. Let's go to the roof or something. Okay. I said I continued talking on the way, surprisingly quiet enough to carry on a conversation while doing so. It's still taking me some time to get used to having to look at the teacher constantly. I guess I took all those years of simply listening to the lectures while I doodle for granted. Makes taking notes a lot more difficult too. The introductory class is small and I'm already behind. Guess I have a lot of stuff to do. Yeah, this is much better. Turn around to look back at Misha and see her staring at me with her hands on her hips and her cheeks puffed outwards. Hee-chan, you're behind? That's no good at all! I started the class a week later than everyone else. Not that bad. Okay, Hee-chan, let's review what you learned then. I'll tutor you, okay? The first time I heard I'll tutor you outside of dirty movies. Not nearly as hard on as I expected. I don't know if I need a tutor yet. Aww. She looks more disappointed than usual. Makes me feel awkward to see her making that kind of face. I want to be a sign language teacher, Hee-chan, but it would be really great if I could try tutoring someone at first. Even if it's a little while, the experience will be valuable. Ah, well, yeah, I guess that's true. That's actually pretty honorable, honestly. Being a sign language teacher. She can teach you at Yamaku! I didn't know you wanted to be a sign language teacher. It's hard to believe she isn't intentionally trying to make me feel guilty because she's very good at it. Still, it makes sense. She's very good at sign language already from what I've seen. Certainly having the voice for dealing with the hearing impaired. I never saw her as a teaching type though. That's the reason why I want to go to the school, Hee-chan. Wait, what? It's also really expensive to attend here, you know? Because I want to be a sign language teacher, I have reduced tuition fees. If it wasn't for that, I don't know if I'd be able to keep going here. What? I see. It's not that I think you'll be bad at tutoring, it's just that I don't know if I need it just yet. You're right, Hee-chan. You're smart. Well, no, that just makes me sound arrogant. Alright, please tutor me.
Really? Okay. Yay! Thanks, Hee-chan. I'll do my best. Let's start right now.
Too soon.
I miss Hee-chan.
Didn't you just see her this morning?
But it's hard to talk to her in class, Hee-chan. There's no student council today either.
Well, they're having exams all week. I'd be kind of mad if there was still student council. I'll be glad when they are over.
When it's back, you're not going to skip out, right, Hee-chan?
Of course, I'm in it after all. Don't worry, I'm not going to suddenly stop showing up. A promise is a promise. Nisha pauses for a second, not looking very convinced.
Hee-chan takes the student council very seriously, Hee-chan. Now that you've joined, she works harder than before since she wants to make a good impression. Some other people joined at first, but they stopped coming soon after. Hee-chan tried to get more people into the student council, but wasn't successful. Even when someone would join, they stopped coming eventually. They make excuses and just put it off more and more until they stop coming altogether. However, I believe that you really need it, Hee-chan.
Maya stays focused on her hands, tilting and moving almost of their own free will, softly signing everything she is saying to herself as she speaks.
When you said you joined, she was very happy. Hee-chan thinks you're interesting, Hee-chan. An uninteresting person wouldn't have the drive needed to join. And if they do, a person that isn't interesting will quit soon after. That's what Hee-chan said. So, it's my duty to make sure you keep going.
Is that why you want to tutor me? You're kind of sneaky, you know that?
Really, Hee-chan? That's the first time anyone has said that about me.
There's no chance that I would avoid student council work now. Thinking over the past few days, I started to realize that the only reason I joined in the first place was because of Shizune. Her competitiveness and force of will are alluring. I can't tell Misha that though.
Okay, Hee-chan, let's review what you learned in class today.
You don't even know what I learned in class today.
You're right, Hee-chan. Okay, let's start with the basics then. I'll just teach you everything from the beginning.
You're kidding, right?
Huh?
You're serious? That's like days of lessons, and we're not even learning on the same level.
It's like riding a bike, Hee-chan. You never forget the basics.
I don't know how to ride a bike, though. Oh, no.
Wait! I want to be a teacher one day, so of course I know what I'm doing. Okay. We're studying!
Looks like she's trying very hard, so this could be bad. Well, learning a language is vastly different from teaching it, and the first step is usually the hardest part. Honestly, I couldn't do any better. Still.
Sign language was formally introduced in the 18th century by a Frenchman named, whose name I can't pronounce. And he started the first public school for the deaf in 1755. But the unwritten history of sign language is said to... I don't really know where to start. Sorry. Well, what better place to start than the history of sign language, right? No, wait, maybe the alphabet. Okay, alphabet it is then. Okay, Hee-chan, this is pretty basic stuff. Although some people think that this is all of signing, and forget that there are other kinds of specific gestures and words. Although you really can't get anywhere else without the basics. This is A. Do you see it? Now you try.
I already know this though. I humor anyway.
Yes, that's it. Now this is B and this is C.
You should make one symbol with each hand without specifying which is which.
And now D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, and Z.
Yeah, this is bad. You think Shizune wants to do some student council work today anyway? We could go.
Of course not, Hee-chan. Come on, I'll do it again. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K. Your turn.
So there really is no student council work that needs doing or anything like that?
What are you talking about, Hee-chan? Come on, sign.
Like this?
No, like this.
Like...
this.
Huh.
I wish Hee-chan was here. This would be so much easier with her. That's how sign language is taught most of the time anyway. There's 2 instructors. Did you know that, Hee-chan?
No. My brain went through what this would be like if Shizune wasn't here.
Hee-chan, are you paying attention?
Yeah.
Hee-chan says that sign language is different from any other, because you have to think about everything before you say it. This means every word has more weight. Hee-chan, every single one is more important than normal. So pay attention, please.
She continues her basic rundown of the basics of sign language. Eventually, she starts talking about stuff I start to recognize. At the end, I'm impressed. It took a bit of stumbling to get there. As a teacher, she's pretty good when she's serious. Whew, and it took the entire day. After a while, I start to notice that it's getting late, so I thank Misha, bid her goodbye, and go back to my dorm. I learned a lot today.
Okay, viewers, this is a...
I'm kidding. Ow! I'm jolted awake by a thunderous banging sound coming from my door. My first thought is it could be Shizune. After all, only a deaf person or a jackass would knock this loudly at this hour. Who is it? Of course, if it is Shizune, she wouldn't be able to hear that or answer. There's no reply, so I'm kind of pleased. I sent Shizune in a while. Hey, Kenji. So it was the ladder. Opening the door, I find Kenji sitting on the hall, his eyes nervously darting from side to side. Oh, it's you.
Yes, me. What kind of reaction is that?
Well, I've been able to give you a more personalized response if you had to answer when I asked who it was. Kenji frowns and pushes his glasses up exactly like Shizune.
Why are you making that weird face?
I wonder how you'd be able to see me making a face now. Yeah, I wasn't able to the millions of other times I reacted to something weird he has said or done. Kinda want to pursue this, but I'm too tired to actually do it. Shizune pushes her glasses up like that. You know, the student council president, it's just a little weird.
What the hell? What do you mean there's a girl who does the same thing? You mean she touches her glasses? I do that! That's my thing! Where's this bitch? Why are bitches all up in my business, stealing what I do?
His character flips from anger to fear in the blink of an eye.
Is she trying to replace me? Pod people? No, wait. That's an exact copy. Pod woman? It's like my two greatest fears combined! It is!
Can't believe he has a point.
Hey, you going to town today?
Maybe later.
Okay, awesome. I have some stuff I want you to pick up for me at the post office. Some delicate and secret stuff.
He speaks in a whisper, as if talking about his mail in an even normal tone of voice will jeopardize it. You can have your mail sent directly here, you know.
No, you can't. You have to get your mail sent to the school, and then the student council picks it up, and then gives it to you. That's not the same as the mail appearing in your hand. I don't trust the student council. Many dudes got their mail here, you know. Many dudes don't get their mail here, you know. They probably steal it all. They think that just because it's sent to them, they have the license to steal? I can't. I can just see them now. Elbow deep in mail. Fast grabbing all the free swag they can get their hand on. Sickening.
Well, can I find this mailman who can conjure mail out of thin air and into your hand?
I don't know. I bet the student council killed him to preserve their monopoly on all the student shit!
Doesn't work that way. Is that what you wanted though? Fine, I can go pick up your mail for you, but eventually I'm going to collect on all these favors. You already owe me some money.
Thanks for reminding me. I'll pay you back after I get my package. Yeah, my bad. I can't really pay you until then. I'm still broke.
And I'm basically doing it for money, like a job. Why do you need the package first? Is there money in the package?
Nah.
I'm still dumbfounded. Why can't you get it?
Because I'm going to remodel my room today into a war room. As the days go by, I realize more and more how dangerous feminism is. It really is everywhere. Even in places like Iran, you can't tell how far up it goes. When the war begins, if we haven't transcended the concept of nations to fight for our genders, it will be chaos! No one will know who will take what side. The war against feminism wouldn't just be World War III, but the end of all life on Earth as we know it. If we lose, all our supple Japanese women will be raped and enslaved by a bunch of psychopathic lesbian... I can't keep it up!
Oh my god, if we lose all our women,
all Japanese women will be raped and enslaved by a bunch of psychopathic lesbian supremacists. Meanwhile, the handful of men that didn't die in the war will be captured and forced to repair toilets and build massive monuments commemorating a feminist victory.
That's crazy. You're crazy. I think you're overthinking this.
As the days go by, I realize more and more that you are not ballin'.
We only talked like 4 times.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, whatever. I'll get your package.
Awesome.
I close the door and jump right back into bed. The second my head hits the pillow, a painfully loud ringing assaults my ears, and I realize it's my clock. The alarm going off means that right now is the time I'm supposed to wake up in the first place. On weekdays, at least. I pick it up and throw it without looking up. It gets wedged between the bed and the wall. The noise not stopping. In fact, it seems to grow louder. By the time I'm able to pry it out of there, I know I'm not going to be able to go back to sleep. The only thing I can think of doing now is going to town and just getting Kenji's stupid package. But it's too early for that. After showering, I take my medication. I'm actually very hungry today since I went without dinner yesterday. Before that, I had just a very light lunch. I ate the pills, chomping on them like a leg of lamb. They are unbelievably bitter and disgusting. I haven't actually had lamb before. Wonder what it tastes like. Well, good medicine tastes bad or something like that. I'm still hungry, and there's still a lot of time to kill, so I decided to go into town and find somewhere to have breakfast. Can't remember the last time I ate out. Besides, the weather is nice, so why not? Didn't we go with Shizune? The walk into town is longer than I remember, possibly because it's been a while, and probably because I rarely come here alone. There are barely any cars on the road because it's so early in the morning, making it unusually quiet. First thing I do is start looking for a place to eat. Immediately, I think of the Shanghai, but I want something more substantial than sandwiches or a cake. Since it's so early, though, I decided to get Kenji's package. Fudge. Kenji's package first. Thinking about the post office doesn't take very long, but the moment I see it, I'm enraged about what a pain in the ass it'll be to carry this thing all the way back to the school. The box is huge. You need 2 hands to hold it. Insultingly, it's not even very heavy. I was thinking of wandering around for a while, but with this thing in tow, this could be a real problem. I guess the Shanghai is my only option now. Everything else is closed, and the ones that aren't all have about the same menu. That fact also makes me want to throw some more business Yuko's way. Before I can even open the door and enter, someone taps me on the shoulder from behind. I turn around and see Shizune there. Instinctively, I look for Misha, but she doesn't seem to be here. Oh, she signed good morning! Looks like those sign language classes are already starting to pay off. I'm tempted to sign it back, but then she might think I know a lot more than I actually do. For now, I just give her a wave and open the door. She's probably here for her morning tea, and didn't come here just to greet me. Turns out, I'm right, as Shizune follows me inside the tea house. The total ghost town in here. Not exactly peak hours, but every other cafe I passed had at least a few customers. Well, then we're this, I already forgot what I was gonna say. Then we're this few customers for the Shanghai. The moment has passed. Actually, the Shanghai has been fairly empty every time I pass by. How does this place stay in business? Hello, thank you for choosing to patronize our establishment. Yuko bows with the force of a falling axe, and her head collides with the box, and my hands launching it towards the floor. Oh no, I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. Please forgive me. It's okay, you don't have to do that. Hello, thanks for choosing our shop thing since we know you. But it's part of my job. You're here early. What can I get you? I just want some coffee for now. What was Shizune once? Without Misha, there's no real way to tell, or any way to even ask. I haven't learned about that yet, so she's here, so I'm pretty sure that means she wants something too. I don't really know what Shizune wants. Does she have a usual? Wait, she might want something else though. I should bring us a menu just in case. Look around for one, but can't find anything that looks remotely like a menu. Menus? I'll go look for one now. Huh? There are menus, they're just rare. Something a restaurant menu, not a collector's edition. You don't know that, buddy! Weird. Is that what Shizune's saying? She can't hear you. It's just weird for a cafe to make you have to go out of your way to look for a menu. Weird? Yes, you're right. It's so illogical. There are so many things, like why it's called the Shanghai. This is a Western-style tea house. The name is Chinese, and the agriculture is old-fashioned, but my uniform is so modern and sophisticated. I think she's about to pass out. If she does, she'll probably fall forward and make a mess of everything. I can't work here anymore. That place for a circular train of logic to end up. No, come on, that kind of stuff is just what sets this place apart. There are a lot of cafes around here, you know. I think it's charming, really. Please don't quit. This is good here, isn't it? Not really. See, I think this is a good job for you. It suits you. You shouldn't quit. I never had to defuse this kind of crisis before. Jesus Christ! Eventually, I managed to calm her down and convince her that I'm just sure Shizune just wants what she usually orders here. Yuko walks away to get out drinks, and by then, Shizune has already picked a table. Another customers, and Yuko isn't the most talkative person, so it's very quiet. It doesn't really bother me, but I wish there were... Sorry about that. I wish there was some way we could communicate. There are a few moments when we're alone. Shizune and Misha are almost always together, to the point where sometimes it seems like they are one. Now it's just me and her, and I am unable to understand her, or have her understand me. It's terrible. You don't have your little notepad today? I know it's the weekend and all, but it's not like you owe to be unprepared. Well, that's fine. I don't really like using it anyway. Still, it would come in handy right now. Shizune so stunning in a short burst, punctuated by her stopping to take a sip of tea. It's strange how she doesn't make the slightest attempt to change how she normally acts. I'm talking to her for the most part because I'm not used to long silences. Briefly, I wonder if it's the same for her in a way. However, it seems unlikely. I think it's more that she is the type who doesn't change how she acts for anyone. Hey, it seems like Misha joined the student council because of you. That makes two of us, you know? I'm only there because you forced me into it. Well, not really forced, I guess. If it wasn't for you, I wouldn't have joined. That sounds slightly romantic, and I find myself blushing a little. I feel like such an idiot. Although, I still don't know why you joined. It should have been the first thing I asked in retrospect, but I'm really curious. I have to remember to ask Misha sometime. Nice to talk to you, even if you can't understand me. I wonder if it's the same for you. That would be really great. I don't think sign language will ever be as natural for me as Misha makes it look, but it's gotta be a step up from using pen and paper, right? We've both been finished with our drinks for a while, and Shizune's eyes fall upon the box sitting in my own chair by the side. I'm just picking up for someone. It's not mine. Shizune pulls it close to the door. As soon as I open it, my heart almost leaped out of my throat. I'm gonna try to pull it back by wrapping my leg around the leg of the table. What the hell? Don't open it! You can just open up other people's mail! That's not legal! No! Once she gets going, there's almost no stopping her. Eyes filled with excitement, she looks ready to fight me over this stupid package. I realize just how fast this could turn into a game of tug-of-war. I am almost out of my seat now, waving my arms like an air traffic control before she finally settles down. No, no, no! No! Bad Shizune, no! No stealing packages! Shizune pouts, not pleased by having her curiosity checked and gets up to leave. About time to, I guess. We've been here for a while and I protectively pick up the box before setting up myself. Suddenly, she tenses her fingers excitedly and pulls out a marker from her pocket. Stop sweating, I can't use box. Hey, what are you doing? I said this isn't mine! Hey! Can't even see her with this block in my village. At least we put it down first. I have to do whatever she's running anyways. I hope you carry it. It doesn't seem like she's finished though, and Shizune draws a fierce line up towards to signify that there's a catch. But it's a game. For the several losers, and the loser has to carry it the rest of the way by themselves. That's stupid! There's a 50% chance I'll end up carrying it by myself anyways! Actually, I feel pretty stupid myself right now. I just forgot that she can't hear me. I stop talking and shake my head. Can't understand her at all, but she comes across very forcefully. Clear that she thinks this is a great idea. Well, if she drops the box or something, she'll have to carry it. That would make things a lot easier for me, obviously. The odds are 50-50, then. They're probably higher than they would be for any other plan of hers. Alright, I'll take it. Thinking about it, I'm not sure how we should do this. Then Shizune grabs hold of one end of the box and lifts it up. I take the side that she isn't holding. This isn't right. It's very uncomfortable to walk like this. Leave the cafe and I find myself hoping that the streets are still devoid of people. Because he's confused about what we are doing. I imagine it'll only get worse as more people see us. Shizune doesn't seem bothered at all while walking with her arm at this unnatural angle. She just grins confidently and periodically makes some kind of weird gesture. Wait, did we have to do this before? Cause wouldn't Kanji ask us to do this in the other routes? Whatever. It still makes sense for it to be on Shizune's route, since Shizune is the one that's helping us, so it makes sense for it to be skipped if it was that case. Not entirely sure how this works together, but we'll see. There are people staring at us as time passes, and the usual morning crowd begins to fill the streets. I feel silly, but I'm sure that if I give up, Shizune will take it as a sign of surrender. Can't allow that, because I think I'm doing well so far. Initially, I just write Shizune's little hand signals up as her preemptively gloating, but catch on quickly that she's actually signaling where she wants to go. It also made that this isn't a competition, it's not much of a challenge. First of all, and second, it's really more of an exercise in teamwork. This is that Shizune has made a punishment for failing instead of a reward for doing well. I figure it's touch under the box, and Shizune moves her hand away, almost dropping her side of the box in the process. Well, that's game over for her. She doesn't look very happy. Does she think I did it on purpose to make her lose? If she does, she isn't making a big deal out of it. All's fair in love and war, after all. I feel like I should take it from her and carry it myself, but she pushes me away when I try. She glares at me as if to tell me off, but she can't. With that box in her hands, she is basically gagged. Well, she lost. The sad expression flickers across her face for a second. Maybe I'm realizing that and having to acknowledge that there are some limitations she has to deal with after all. However, she's not as prideful as ever, even if it's her detriment. She wouldn't accept letting me allow her to skip out on a consequence of her bet. I don't think it's fine in the game, but the results have to be honored to that letter, huh? Today is an interesting type of person. The march back to the dorm is uneventful. Shizune passes the trip by shifting the box around, occasionally like a giant Rubik's Cube. It's like another game she has invented to amuse herself. Can't be good for whatever's inside, but I don't care enough to stop her. Maybe that's how she deals with things, by making everything into a game? It's hard to say for sure, though. It seems futile to try to psychoanalyze Shizune. In the short time we've known each other, I've been surprised on a fair number of occasions. I notice Shizune shivering. The wind is picking up, and the school is pretty high up. It makes sense that she would be cold. If I give her my jacket, though, would she reject it? Take off my jacket and drape it across her shoulders before she has a chance to protest. Her arms are slim and delicate, so much so that I want to let my hands linger on them. Shizune flinches when my finger brush against hers, understandably surprised. Sorry. My fingers dance lightly over the surface of the box. I think of taking it from her, but I doubt she'll let me. Shizune makes a quick gesture with her hands as best as she can, pausing a bit afterwards as if wanting to say more. I'm sure that she means is thank you. I'm glad that I was able to catch it. That's all for this time. This is Recycle the Jug Gamer. I hope you enjoyed this series so far, and I hope to see all you guys again next time. See you guys then.